find Haunt Squad on all your favorite social media sites. Facebook.com/Haunt Squad, Twitter @Haunt Squad, Instagram at Instagram.com/Haunt_Squad, and search us on YouTube. Haunt Squad, 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 Squad.
What happened that night science made its greatest mistake? What unknown terror was born that night?
In a world filled with supernatural phenomena, 3 explorers of the unknown answer the real questions concerning the field of paranormal investigation. Vinny Gomez, Natalie Jane, and Mike Wolfer guide you to the depths of paranormal studies, creepy movies, games, and comics, and more from the world of horror and geek culture. Turn out the lights, turn on your EMF detector, and prepare yourself for the Haunt Squad podcast.
I don't like spiders and snakes, and that ain't what it takes to love me. Fool. I don't like spiders and snakes.
Suppose nature gave a war, and everybody came. The snakes, the birds, the lizards and frogs. And suppose that the polluters, the species on Earth called man, were the enemy in that war.
Yes! Another new year, another great intro.
Yes.
Yep.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Great.
You know who I am?
Who?
I'm Vinny.
I'm Mike.
I'm Natalie.
And we are Haunt Squad, taking you through the world of the paranormal, comics, horror, and anything else in geek culture. Welcome.
That's us.
Yeah. So, how was your New Year's, guys?
Well, what did we do? You know,
We watched Godzilla.
yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
You had a Godzilla New Year.
Yeah. Yeah. Like every year, we think about it. We say, what do we want to do?
Yeah.
And we think about what do we like and what do we don't like. And what we don't like is
People.
yeah.
Whoa.
People and crowds and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just not into that, you know.
Nah.
So it's like, okay, we're going to eat some really good stuff and drink some really good stuff and
Yeah.
watch some stuff. And our plan was, let's just wing it and do some things unless there's a Modern Family marathon on or something.
Yeah, Modern Family.
And guess what? There was a Modern Family marathon, so that's what we did. Yeah. Yeah, we watched that, and then we switched over to, you know, the whatever, Dick Clark New Year's Rockin' Eve thing, you know, for the countdown. And I saw a bunch of people who I didn't recognize, and
Yeah.
just made me feel old. I said,
Aw.
F it, let's go back to Modern Family.
That's what we did.
Yeah. What about you? What'd you do?
Me, well, I spent some time with my my sister, and
Oh,
we
cool.
watched the ball fall. In 8 years, I have not seen the ball fall.
Oh,
So we stayed up, watched that, and then at 12:02, Vinny was in bed,
really?
totally asleep.
Yeah.
Totally out.
Yeah.
What time did you guys stay up until?
Well, I stayed up long enough to wish everybody back home a Happy New Year, so it was
That's
after
true.
1.
Yeah.
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 It's probably close to 2 after we rounded up the cats and all that other great stuff.
Yeah.
You guys round up the cats? Do you have them? You put them in their own room? Is that what you guys do?
Kind of.
Yes, Freya, Echo, and Nyx stay with us. Chantico goes in her own room.
Because she's a dick.
She likes it, though. She likes having her own room. But,
Yeah.
yeah, she's a rabble-rouser.
They would
and,
fight all night long if
yeah.
we didn't do that.
And Ringo and, what's his face, Lincoln.
Oh,
they
really?
get the run of the house.
Lincoln's
all
the,
downstairs.
Lincoln's the dog.
Yeah, Lincoln's the dick.
Wait,
You want to talk about a dick? No, not for no. Chantico. Chantico is just what is her deal?
Frantico.
Frantico. Yeah. So Lincoln and Ringo
Yeah.
get the run of
And you guys
First
do
floor.
that. You guys do that all the time.
Yep.
You wrangle them. How
Every
hard
night.
is it to wrangle up
Well,
bunch of cats.
That's where the cliche phrase comes from.
Herding cats.
Yeah, it's tougher than herding cats. Oh.
I think the most difficult is Freya, really.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it. But Echo just kind of lays there. She's easy to catch.
She's easy to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
What?
There's another one now.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. There's
Okay.
we have another. Sort of have a new cat. Okay, so here's the story.
We have a cat.
There's a
A cat.
neighborhood cat, black cat, really
Okay.
really cool cat. Hates everybody, loves us. Probably because Natalie feeds him. He hangs out and does his thing outside. And he had a injured paw a few weeks ago. We
Yeah.
noticed he started limping around. He couldn't walk on his front foot, and it progressively got worse to where he wasn't walking. He was walking on 3 feet.
Okay.
So he's a stray. Nobody owns him, but we couldn't just let it go.
Right.
So we took him to the vet, had him check it out. He had a little puncture mark on the bottom of his foot. They gave him an antibiotic. But however, state law is that if an animal that doesn't have rabies shots, and we're assuming he does not because he's a stray,
Okay.
if they're injured, it could possibly be an animal bite. They could possibly have rabies. So that animal needs to be quarantined for 6 months.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Yeah.
I wish I was.
Yeah, 6 months. Now, the person, people like us, we can do it ourselves. You can quarantine an animal in your own home.
Yeah.
Which is what we're doing. They gave us a schematic for a cage, and I built a cage for him in the garage. And
How happy
poor,
is he?
poor dude is going to be locked up until June.
Ugh.
Well, he howls a lot. I mean, he's used to being outside all day and just having his freedom and walking for miles and miles. So it's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sad for him, but we visit him all the time. We hang out with him, and that seems to make him happy.
But, he's going to get fat is what's going to happen.
I'm worried about that.
he
I don't want him to
just
get
gets fed.
unhealthy. Yeah.
He gets fed all day long and doesn't have to walk anywhere or do anything.
Yeah.
He's learning the English language, which is kind of cool.
So he knows how to speak English.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we hear him from downstairs going, hello, hello. No shit.
You're not kidding.
It's unnerving. So yeah,
That's hilarious.
The menagerie grows.
How wow.
So it's not the best
Yeah.
of circumstances, but he's being cared for now.
Okay.
So
But we're
That's
gonna
what
we're gonna
counts.
get him all of his shots. We're gonna get him.
neutered.
Don't tell him.
Sure.
Don't tell
Don't tell
Chaos.
him. He's going to cross his hind legs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so now you guys are going to keep him.
Yeah.
I keep saying you guys. I'm
That's
sorry.
the way it
But
looks.
you're going to keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see though after the 6 months how he gets along with all the other cats. I think I mentioned before that him and Chantico did have a moment of passion on our front stairs.
So
before we took her
how was
in.
your New Year?
So they at least know each other. Freya would always hiss at him. I don't think Nix and Echo really care too much, but I don't know. Ringo's another male. I don't know. I have no idea. We're just gonna have to see where it goes from there.
Well, the thing is, all of the cats that we have are strays. We took them in as strays.
Yeah.
He's probably the father of all of them,
He
most
could be.
likely.
Ringo?
No,
Chaos.
Chaos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh god.
Well,
don't
Ringo's older, isn't he? Or
He was
little
found
bit,
in a
yeah.
different area
Yeah.
though. All of these.
Oh,
that
he
we
was found.
Yeah,
Ringo
Ringo
was
was a
found,
stray
too.
too.
yeah.
Oh, I was unaware.
Ringo's
big-
about 6 years old. 6 or 7? Maybe 7 now.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Big
yeah.
30-pound Ringo.
Man, he's a monster.
He is.
Huge.
Yeah.
He's a dreamsicle.
Wow.
30-pound dreamsicle.
Ooh, boy. Yeah. So, New Year.
Yeah, New Year, resolutions.
We had a resolutions.
What,
Do you
no?
do that?
Personal more than anything. I don't go, hey, I'm going to lose weight because look at me, I haven't lost weight in years. But,
I don't do it.
I don't do resolutions. I say I do some when I'm ready to do something, I'll do it.
Yeah. I just make promises to myself. You know what? I didn't do it last year. This year I'm going to kind of, I posted something on Facebook a couple of days ago that I'm going to, keep to this non-stress type thing. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of like, just going to kind of phase back a little bit.
So how do you feel about year after year constantly lying to yourself and disappointing yourself?
Failing?
Because that's what New Year's resolutions are
It
for.
gets really, really, really depressing.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about this? I mean, you can remove yourself from stressful situations, not purposely put yourself in stressful situations. What about people that bring stress to you?
Well, that's what I mean by removing myself or keeping the stress away from me.
It's like you can't always control it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Step
that's-
number 1, remove your Facebook profile and get off of Facebook. Step 2 would be Twitter. Yeah.
Twitter? What's that?
Oh, that's right.
We'll get to that later. Oh, God.
Yeah, well, I don't want to remove myself completely from Facebook, but I kind of want to just back off a little bit, So if you notice, I'm trying not to post personal things like, oh, I hate my job, or oh, I can't do this. Oh.
Gotcha.
So now it's more like,
Because you don't always get the best of support when you post things like that.
No.
That has to be a little disheartening.
It's very disheartening, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But
that's why I'm happy that all of my family is not on Facebook because, well, you know what? My family's pretty cool, but they wouldn't want to see half of the stuff I post, I'm sure. I don't ever talk about like personal things ever. I don't talk about my kids. Love them to death, but I don't drag them into that. Because they don't need that. They got their own stuff. Oh, my dad was, embarrassing me and this and that. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Don't even. I have 2 kids. I have to.
In case nobody knew.
In case nobody knows.
You're kidding me.
I keep them out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm just kind of moving myself out a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Just kind of give myself a little bit of a break and enjoy what I have.
Yeah. Sure.
Not much of it.
Well, hey, Wah, wah. Last week, Natalie's birthday.
I turned 29.
29.
That's hot.
Yeah, we had fun.
How did you celebrate?
Well, we just had pretty much a relaxing day, and then we went to dinner later.
Went to
had
dinner.
an early dinner at Jessop's Tavern.
Yep, in Old Newcastle, Delaware.
Okay.
Really cool historic place. Jessop's Tavern is what? Like 300 years old or something.
They have a killer pot pie, delicious Moscato, and I'm fine.
Yeah, I got the shepherd's pie. And the shepherd's pie there, it's like 8 pounds of mashed potatoes and ground beef. It's like this giant steaming volcano of gravy. Unbelievable.
Seriously, 4 grown men could eat this.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And
It's
you ate
so
it
filling.
all?
No.
No.
I did eat half. No, wait.
You look like you put on a little weight from that.
Yeah.
Got a
You ate
little
almost
chubbier.
half. You pushed it, but
I
you
did.
could get 4 meals out of that thing.
Yeah, great stuff. Hey, you know what?
What?
Jessop's Tavern,
Yeah.
haunted.
You're kidding me.
No.
300 years? I can't believe it.
Yep. It's haunted by the current occupants. No.
Oh, now you.
No. Yeah, I did an investigation there with another group I was with for about 10 minutes. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool place.
What's supposed to be there?
Not really sure.
No.
There's reports of one area of the dining room in the front corner by the front window. Mm-hmm. They report seeing a man sitting at the table in the corner. Mm-hmm. There's been strange things that happen at the bar, glasses flying off of the shelves and things. Yeah. Glasses moving around on the bar. Mm-hmm. Bar stools being moved that should be pushed in, and then suddenly it's pulled out in the middle of the room.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We didn't, from what I remember, we really didn't get any great evidence.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because of the nature of the group and what was going on at the time, there was a lot of noise contamination.
Understood, yeah.
People in the group. Mm-hmm. So I got some stuff, but damn it, I have to throw it all out because I couldn't be sure that it wasn't somebody
now on a
on
personal
another floor.
On a personal level, if you listen to that, would you think that you had caught something?
Yes.
You thought you heard something that
Yes.
but because of all the contamination, it's just something you can't bring back to the.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool place though.
Yeah.
Great time.
Is it a nice looking place? I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like a colonial theme.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because they dress in colonial attire.
Really?
It's really cool.
Oh wow.
It's quaint. It's homey. Natalie sat right in front of the fireplace, and
Almost caught on fire. We got really hot. And here I am, with all these layers and stuff, and I'm draping it over my chair. So I'm like, I keep moving it away from the fire. I'm like, I'm going to catch on fire. Because it got hot in there. You know what I thought was really cool?
no,
Is that a lot of people there, it's especially the women, they all have tattoos. So it's kind of cool.
I
You
didn't
see
notice.
them. Yeah, I did. I noticed those things.
Mm-hmm.
And they're wearing these whatever you want to say, colonial attire,
yeah.
and then they have tattoos sticking out. It's like, I like this place. It's pretty cool. Guys too, but yeah, I noticed that.
hey, you know what?
What?
Whenever I want to change the subject, I say, hey, you know what? I got Natalie a gift.
He did.
It was like a combination birthday, Christmas thing, because we really don't do Christmas. You know, but yeah, guess what I got her?
What did you get?
I got her a Biohazard Baby.
He did. He was very sneaky about it.
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. One of Veronica's coolest things, and she knew exactly. When she started opening the box, you said something like, "It's the cutest vampire ever."
Yes, I saw the name on the toe tag, and I'm like, really?
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cutest
love
little
the fact
vampire.
that little detail, the toe tag, is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, seriously, if you're into creepy stuff and you don't mind bizarre, dead-looking children sitting on the shelf watching you sleep, check out Veronica's shop at Etsy,
Etsy.
and it's
Biohazard Baby.
Go there. She's and she's a great artist. Wow,
Yeah.
she does some really good work.
She has a Facebook page and a Twitter account, so you can find her on there too.
Yeah,
there was a little special detail about it too that we can't actually divulge, but there's a very cool little twist to it that she told us the inside story, and we were like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" Okay, get ready to cut the mics because I'm going to tell you.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on. Okay, we're back. So what do you think? Pretty cool.
That's
huh?
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, happy birthday, Natalie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
We've been gone for, what, 4 weeks and we've been
It's
Yeah.
been
off the air or whatever?
yes.
We've been watching a lot of TV. Have you been watching TV?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. Nothing major. We just finished Jessica Jones.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, cool.
yeah,
How was
really
that?
good. Really, really good.
Good.
Really good. What have you been watching?
We watched Childhood's End. That was on Sci-Fi Channel.
You told me about that
Friday
on the
night.
last episode. How was it?
Incredibly depressing.
Oh, well, then I shan't be
Just
watching
like the
that.
book in that regard.
But really well made.
Yeah, they changed things around. Like I said, I read that book back in 8th grade, so I remembered certain things. You know, some things I probably forgot. You had the main alien character, Karellen. In the book, they had two. They had two aliens that they talked to. So they just had one this time, but that was just fine.
Oh.
The actor that played him, I'm forgetting his name. He did a wonderful job. And they changed some names around. They changed some characters' backstories, but it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was depressing. Good times.
We're not going to give away the end, but
Depressing.
depressing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Was the book as depressing as the TV show?
Oh, the book was much more depressing.
Really?
Oh, yes.
American Horror Story, that's back.
Yep.
The big 2-part season finale.
Okay.
And that took some twists that I was not expecting.
It sure did. It sure did. I mean,
This whole season, I haven't been too sure about it. We've been watching. Some weeks we're like, did we just watch it because she was busy on her phone the whole time and I was on Facebook
I'm
and
tweeting,
glancing
live
up once in a
tweeting
while?
and stuff,
And then there
yeah.
would be some episodes where it's riveting. It's been
Right.
back and forth, but overall, it all came together and it was
say,
cool.
Liz and Iris, they just totally took
Yeah.
it. That was
Yeah.
really, really great. And then
We saw some old faces from other shows and
Yeah.
things.
And then Ramona, Angela Bassett, she's a friggin' goddess. I
Yeah.
just love her.
Yeah.
She's awesome. So yeah, well, and tomorrow the second part of the finale. That's it, and we're
Yep.
done.
Yep.
Is the show as good as it was when Jessica Lange was on it, or do you think there's something missing because she's not there? How do you feel about
Well,
that?
there's one half of the final episode left to be aired, and apparently she's in it, right?
They said that she was gonna have a small part in this season. We
Yeah.
haven't seen her yet, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming that she's going to be in this
Okay.
one. Yeah. Is something missing? It's still just as creepy. That's the creep factor is not missing,
Yeah.
but yeah, she's always enjoyable to see. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. You know what we're really psyched about?
Welcome to Lucha Underground, where we honor ancient traditions, courage, and my personal favorite, a good old-fashioned fight.
Lucha Underground.
Ah! Oh my God! I'm cracking my knuckles. Those are my knuckles. I'm crazy. I'm going nuts. crack my neck too. Hang on. No, I'm kidding.
Lucha Underground's
Lucha
coming
Underground.
back. It's been too long.
It has been. It seems like it's been forever. But we had a treat last week.
Yes, we did. On Natalie's birthday. The mini marathon, which was, oh, man. I didn't realize how much I missed it. And I didn't realize how much I missed. There's so much going on in every episode, every shot, every scene. There's all kinds of things happening. And you focus on, oh, that guy just pile drive that guy's head into the mat. But there's other things going on in other places in the ring that I didn't catch, you know? Great stuff.
We got to see our buddy Vinny Massaro.
Vinny Massaro.
He's
Nice.
great.
Yeah, the big 4-way duel. And then Tejano came in and just
obliterated everyone. He just took
obliterated
it over,
everybody.
yeah.
And they were all recovering from, they all had their broken arms from Pentagon Jr.
Yeah.
So like, okay, they're all back and they're going to go out. Oh, and here comes Tejano. But Vinny was funny as hell. I was watching him very carefully this time.
Yeah.
He was cracking me up. But talented guy. Some of the falls that he took out of the ring, flipping over the top rope and smacking his back on the edge of the ring.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Wow.
That's got to hurt.
God, that was very cool. But there's the huge marathon coming up on the
January 23rd. It starts at 10 a.m. It's going to be 2 days. 39 episodes, 40 hours.
Oh, my
the
God.
whole first season.
Yep. So you can see it from the beginning.
Yep.
So, folks, don't bother Mike or Natalie.
I know.
For that full...
I posted on Facebook, I said, if you don't hear from me these 2 days, you know why. I'm not dead or
You're
anything.
not missing.
No.
And that's all leading up to the season premiere.
Yep. Wednesday, January 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Wow.
On the Ray Network.
Have you seen the trailer? I know.
Yeah,
you
I I
my
saw it.
God.
Wow, it looks good.
Holy
We
crap.
freaked out. We had to keep watching it over and over.
Holy crap.
Incredible.
There was one segment where it's like 2 seconds long, and there's like a strobe light going on and off. It's like totally black, and then you see little glimpses of camera. Okay, it's gone. Well, I had to pause that thing. When you pause it and the strobe is on, you see Pentagon Jr. with like 5 other Pentagon Juniors. There's like 6 Pentagon Juniors, all with different masks.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. And I don't know. I had to be a goof, and I was like, God, there was like 100 Pentagon Juniors. That was hot. I just had to be a goof. But it was really cool. It was kind of menacing.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're psyched. We're above psyched.
Sounds good.
Over psyched.
Well, we're excited. Like, what storylines are going to continue, and we have new characters.
Yes.
I shouldn't say characters. New wrestlers or whatever.
They
you
call
know.
themselves characters.
Sure.
you
Okay.
know. Yeah.
You have Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio?
He's the big deal.
Holy shit.
I'm
Nice.
excited.
Do you have any predictions? Or something that you want to see happen on the
I
show?
predict that every Wednesday from 9 to 10 or whatever time it is, we're going to be glued to the TV for the next 9 months. Predictions?
I don't have any predictions. I'm just along for the ride. I want surprises.
I have one. You know what I think? Okay, here's what happened, right? El Jefe was running the place.
Right.
And the Disciples of Death, Mil Muertes and Katrina, kind of cleaned house. Mil is the champion. Disciples of Death are the tag team champions.
Trios, right?
Or trios champion, yeah.
Right.
And Katrina is sort of, she's not the manager, but, you know, she's in that capacity. She's kind of pulling all the strings. They've taken over the temple. Katrina's now the El Jefe. Dario Cueto, I don't know where, you know, he split with Matanza and Black Lotus. So, evil has gained control of the temple.
Okay.
Evil rules. You know what I think? I kind of think that some of the rivalries that we saw in the first season, they're going to have to make new alliances. Bitter enemies are going to have to join together in order to take down the bad guys. And if it's as simplistic as that, that's okay with me. I think that would be freaking awesome. You know? I want to see Pentagon Jr. and Sexy Star be a team.
boy.
That would be freaking awesome. Because he was after her, like, bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the first season. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It'll probably be nothing like that, and we'll be totally shocked and surprised. Yeah, we're psyched.
Can't wait to get your reviews from the episodes.
You know what? Speaking of reviews,
Yeah.
this coming Saturday, which for you guys listening, if you're listening on Tuesday, it was like 3 days ago, we're going to do this whole Right Coast Pro thing again, right? The time travel bit. Because Natalie and I have tickets, to go see the show on January 9th in Newark, Delaware. Mm-hmm. The Right Coast Pro show.
Right.
Wrestling show, which was freaking awesome the last time we saw it. We're going again. Our friend Sebastian Knight hooked us up.
Cool.
You know what? I'm not so sure if I like that guy or not. Because he's a heel, man.
He is, for sure. Yeah.
Don't tell him I said that, but I don't know. But anyhow, he got us, front row again. We're now going to jump ahead into the future and the past, and we're going to do our time travel bit, and we're going to give our review of the show. Okay, so let's go see the show. You ready?
Yes.
Let's go. Woo! Yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
All right, so what we're going to do now is Natalie and I are going to give our review of the Right Coast Pro Wrestling show that we went to see on Saturday, January 9th, and that was at the Greater Newark Boys and Girls Club in Newark, Delaware. Every show has its own little title. This one was called Turn the Page. Once again, Sebastian Knight. I called him a heel. But you know what? We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. He hooked us up again, got us front row seats, and we were right there for all the action and the sweat and the spit and the
And the handshakes and high fives. Yeah, but spit and sweat for sure.
One of the things that they stress, and you and I talked about this, it's a family-friendly show. Mm-hmm. So when you go to check this out, and we hope that you guys do if you're in the Delaware area, it's not like TV wrestling. Mm-hmm. It's safe. You can bring the kids.
There are a lot of kids, a lot of families.
Yeah, a lot of kids. Yeah, there was. So there was 8 matches overall. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like 20 because there was so much going on, and there was actually kind of like some matches that came out of nowhere that weren't even on the program. The beginning of the show started with the tag team championship match between the Baldwins and Studio 54, which is Mozart Fontaine and Disco Dave. Mm-hmm. That was a good match. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, well, the champions, the Baldwins, are a lot of fun. You have Harry and Jerry, and their manager, I think he's fun too. Brutus. Yeah. He really does a lot with the crowd, a lot of crowd interaction.
That's true. Yeah.
Kids like to, well, not just kids, but everyone likes to shout things at him. He just looks at you and he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
A lot of shut ups going on.
Shut up. Things turned on their head after the match, but then the ref for the match was J.J. Johnson, who's co-owner of RCP. He was officiating, and turned out that he wasn't an official ref, so they kind of threw the whole thing out, and I guess they're going to have to do it again. Things got really weird. Damian Gibbs came out. He wanted to expose the true identity of a guy they call Wrestler X. This guy's a monster. Huge guy. He's got a black luchador mask, and nobody knows who he is. And Prince of Aesthetics, he thinks he knows who it is. And he called him out, and he said it's his belief that the true identity of Wrestler X is Anthony Bowens. Wrestler X did come out, and they did have some, little confrontation in the ring. And then Wildlife came out. I mean, that was a scheduled match. Mm-hmm. Him and Aaron Stride, they had a scheduled match. They burst into the ring. Suddenly it was like a free-for-all, so I guess they kind of sort of had their own match going during the other thing, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is really awesome. Mm-hmm. And I know you had a particular problem with that match.
Yeah, I felt bad for Coasty. Josh Maddox and someone else, I can't remember who, they were holding Coasty back. They wouldn't let him...
Yeah, Coasty's the big monkey.
Yeah, he's adorable. Who doesn't love Coasty?
He's a big monkey. He's the mascot.
I'm just like, I want to go free him.
I know it. Everybody's looking at the ring and screaming, and you and I were saying, hey, let Coasty go!
We're ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was fun.
One of my favorites is Latin Lover Chachi. I like that guy.
You do. You like him a lot.
I do. He's got swagger. He's got attitude, and apparently everybody hates him.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his arrogance, I guess. Mm-hmm. Maybe they don't care for his Latin dancing. I don't know. But the
Latin dancing's the best part.
He was doing moves.
He was.
In the middle of the match.
Like a cha-cha, salsa, merengue or something like that as he was, punching.
Ruby Rubino.
Rubino, yeah.
And here's the thing where Sebastian Knight comes in. Now, he's kind of a bad guy.
He's slightly rudo, sure.
Yeah. But what was weird was, okay, here's what happened. Chachi came out, and he started berating the crowd, expressing his opinion that everybody in Delaware is fat. He was like, you're fat, and you're fat. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? Now, when Sebastian Knight and Ruby came out, they're not skinny guys. They had sandwiches. They like went to
Ruby
Wawa
had
or something.
a Wawa sub, and Sebastian had something else. But they're
like, we don't care.
Chowing on hoagies.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They're like, big is beautiful and all that. And they made this impassioned plea to the crowd, and the crowd ate it up. And by the end of the match, everybody was cheering for Ruby and Sebastian, which was kind of a weird turn of events, you know?
Right.
I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Well, Better Than You, whew, those guys are set up to be hated. They're like a bunch of frat boys.
Yeah, they are.
You know, and they were, walking around the ring yelling, Frenchman, and everybody just to tick them off. And so, speaking of BTY, two of their members, Justin Pusser and Brian Johnson, they fought the heavyweights for the, number one contender?
Right, the tag team number one contender match.
Right, yeah. That was a hell of a match. I love the heavyweights, man.
They're a lot of fun.
Now, the heavyweights are Sean Royal and Tim Taylor. They're not big guys.
No.
But they've got the moves.
And
they were really good with, like, the grappling and the submission holds and all of that. They don't have the weight, but
they're quick.
They're fast, yeah. And the crowd loves them.
They do.
I was really, really happy to see that they won. No, they didn't win. BTY took it.
No, they cheated.
Well,
what can you do?
There was a lot of cheating going on.
There's a whole lot of cheating the entire
had
night.
her paddle out there and was wooden paddle. I don't know. I'm sitting there saying, wait, that's illegal. That's illegal. You can't do that.
Well, then how many refs were taken out?
2.
So.
Yeah.
And then that one guy comes. I forget his name, but they called him a weasel. And
yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be a troublemaker. He's a rabble rouser in that.
What is it about professional wrestling that attracts those kind of people?
I don't know. They need to be taken out.
Makes a hell of a fun show.
It does.
The big fight of the night was the heavyweight championship match between BTY's Adam Chandler and the reigning champion, everybody's favorite, Chris Steeler. That was a hell of a match. That was really, really cool.
Really good, yeah.
Steeler did a lung blower on Chandler. It was like perfect. And oh my God, holy crap, man, that must have hurt. There was the whole night was just crazy. There was the slaps and the Damian Gibbs against Anthony Bowens.
Yeah, so they actually came out of the ring we were in a corner, into our corner, and they had, again, some audience participation. There were 2 younger girls there, and they helped hold Damian Gibbs for
they held
Anthony
his
Bowens
arms.
Held his arm while he slapped the crap out of his chest, and I was just like, oh my God, that's really gotta hurt.
It was a great show, though. Steeler did take it.
He did. Yeah, he's reigning champ.
And you know what was really cool? At the end, the heavyweights came out as refs.
Yes.
Because, like you said, all night long, refs they were dropping like flies. So they needed 2 refs for that match. And heavyweights came out, and Steeler took it. And then the proposal was made to do I
guess like a trios match, but they're not calling it a trios match.
Yeah, like a three-way tag team match,
yeah.
At the March 5th show.
Yeah, between them and Better Than You.
BTY,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that should be freaking awesome. We had a great time, and once again, we want to thank everybody at RCP, Sebastian Knight, and Lisa.
JJ Johnston.
And JJ, yeah.
And they have a phenomenal photographer.
Oh, yeah, Jim Steele.
Steele Photography.
You know what's really cool about his photos? That in so many of them, you can see you and I.
Yeah, our little heads, and I'm just like, oh,
we just happen to be on that side of the ring.
Yeah, constantly just, running around the ring, getting in there. I'm surprised. I wonder if he's ever gotten knocked out. I wonder if he's ever gotten hit, because he's right up in there in the action.
You know what else was cool? The halftime show.
Yes. Kenpo Karate. The demo team came out to show us what they got, what they're made of, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of ass kickers.
Yeah. What age range would you say? Probably maybe like on average around maybe 14, 15, 16, something
I would
like
say some
that.
actually looked younger than that,
Yeah.
but I would say, grade school, maybe like freshmen, sophomores or something like that. But I thought the majority of them were
really good.
maybe like, around 11, 12 years
Yeah.
old. They were all great.
Yeah.
And kick my butt. That's really sad.
Well, you ready to head back to the mansion?
Sure. Lucha Fu.
Oh, yeah. Pedro Duro.
I didn't want to forget about that. Lucha Fu, everyone. Look it up. All right, are we heading back?
Yeah, let's go.
Whew. I was a little less dizzy that time, but
We're getting used to this.
yeah. Wow.
And now, our main topic.
Topic for today.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Bad animals. Don't everybody jump up and down at once.
We're just staring at you like, really? Bad
You know how
animals?
difficult it is every week to come up with another movie sub genre to talk about, but there's plenty out there. But this week, I don't care. The hell with you guys? It's bad animals, and we're talking regular animals, not like Godzilla and things like that. No,
Is Godzilla considered an animal? Let's be real here.
Sure.
Is he?
sure, he's an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then again, we're all animals.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
werewolves, those are animals, but we're not. But these
Oh,
are
we're
like
talking about-
straight up.
Dogs, cats.
Regular- yeah.
Yeah, tigers, lions, bears, those types of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys come up with anything?
I have one.
I have one as
Seriously,
well.
I'm really not into them, but this one was just memorable because I saw it when I was little. So I have one.
Do we want to try to break it up and make it look like you guys did your homework, or
I did do my homework. I'm being honest.
I have a whole bunch.
You were going to mention one that I didn't mind.
Okay.
You're a
So-
connoisseur of horror.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah.
mean, I go to you when it comes to, hey, Mike, what scary thing should I be? Air. Is there something scary about Air? And then you just come up with a weird movie. Oh, yeah, there was a movie about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, why don't you guys go and then I'll ramble for 20 minutes and go through all of mine.
Okay.
Okay.
You want me to go first? Because I just got
Absolutely.
I have one. Okay.
The birthday girl goes first.
The 29-year-old goes first. Okay. All right, so my pick is Alligator.
Alligator.
It's from 1980.
Yeah.
Directed by Louis Teague.
Yep.
Okay, so the story takes place in Chicago, and...
Hey, hold on.
What?
Before you go,
What?
give everyone listening a chance to see if they can guess what the plot is.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
So the story takes place in Chicago, and apparently someone has flushed an alligator down the toilet.
No.
You're kidding me.
And years later, it survived, it grew up, it's huge, and it's busted out of the sewer, and it just starts killing people. It goes on this rampage. And you find out that it's actually been eating discarded lab animals, like rats and stuff that have been injected with a growth hormone, and that's why it grows so big.
Okay, so it was a regular alligator, but it was
Yes.
eating bad stuff.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you eat stuff in Chicago sewers.
Yeah,
you
well,
know, it's going to happen.
I try to stay away from that.
And so you have a police officer and a herpetologist who are trying to track it down. Basically, it ends with an explosion and another baby alligator coming out of the sewer. Good stuff. That's it.
What blows up, the alligator or the city?
Well, they put explosives like in the sewer to blow it up, to blow it out. You
Oh,
know?
okay, so the alligator doesn't eat the explosives.
No. As far as
Which
I
would have been
remember,
hilarious.
No, that would have been gross. Poor alligator, damn it! Didn't ask for this life.
I read a novel in the 70s called Croc. And,
Okay.
Oh, that's a croc.
Yeah, I knew. Somebody had to say it. Same thing.
Like the shoes.
It was a cool movie.
Yeah.
I mean, a cool movie. It was a cool book. And I read another one that was called Gator.
Okay.
That one didn't take place in the city, but Croc did. Same thing. Alligator in the sewer, and it got big and did
Yeah.
stuff, and
Well, there's urban myths, urban
Oh,
legends
yeah.
about that actually happening in the New York sewers, and we hear about someone flushes their baby alligator down the toilet because it's getting too big, and now they're huge in the sewer. It's like that never happened.
Can anything actually live in sewage though?
Bacteria.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
other
know.
than that, I mean, I know there's rats
You
in
have
the
rats
sewer,
down
but
there. I mean, it's something I guess could eat the rats. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I need to look into this.
I certainly hope not.
Haunt Squad investigation number 37.
Well, I will be standing up on ground level while you guys go down in the sewers.
I already claimed that position. So.
Well, mine's very simple. I have a very simple, animal horror story. And everybody's seen it. Most people have probably read it. Cujo.
Sure.
The St. Bernard rabbit-filled monster dog that terrorizes a mother and its child and eats people. And, you know the story. You know the story. So it's not something I have to go through too long with, but it scared the hell out of me. And whenever I see a St. Bernard, they always drool anyway. So I always think, oh, my God, that dog is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
But, in watching that movie, I always thought the dog was really nice and playing with people whenever he would jump at him.
Oh, you mean during the production?
During the production, you could just tell that the dog was just a happy dog.
Yeah.
And it was just jumping at people. Man, they made that dog look really mean.
Yeah, they filled their pockets with begging strips and liver snaps and,
Yeah. Treats of all kind. Yeah. So.
That movie, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Oh,
It was depressing.
Yeah.
It was depressing when they were trapped in the car and they're basically like roasting to death in there. Dee Wallace,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that's correct.
And her son, was it her son in the movie? I wanted it to be over because I didn't think a herpetologist was going to show up and blow it up at the end.
I just thought of something. This is just on the spot here. What about Jaws?
That's an animal.
Is that an animal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's an animal.
Roy Schneider was awesome in that. Yeah. I love Roy Schneider.
Yep.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
It's Scheider.
Scheider?
Henriksen?
All right.
Okay, whatever.
Oops. I'm from New Jersey, okay?
But yes, that counts. Of course it does.
I didn't even realize that. I thought,
Jaws 2, 3, 4, and 5 don't count, but Jaws does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So-
Oh boy. No. I'm not going the route of the Sci-Fi Channel because then I would come up with about 80 other movies like Two-Headed Shark Attack and stuff like that. We're not going there. No, Natalie, don't look at me like that.
The floor is yours.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Here's my list.
Okay.
First, I know you guys know this one. You've probably seen it. Lake Placid.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
1999. That was a cool movie. I liked it. A lot of people say they didn't like it. No, it's stupid. But it was supposed to be stupid.
That's
Kind of.
my bit.
It was like tongue in
I
cheek.
think they're all supposed to be kind of stupid.
Yeah, Bill Pullman, Bridget Fonda, Betty White, of course, was in it. She was freaking hilarious. It was directed by Steve Miner, who was the producer of Friday the 13th. And he directed Part 2 and Part 3. He directed House. He directed Halloween H2O. He directed Day of the Dead. He's got some cred.
He's a master.
It was a fun movie. It was a big, was it alligator or crocodile? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter because Betty White just had this foul mouth and
Yeah.
she was funny.
But that was cool. I think everybody's seen that, though. One of the things that we like to do for you guys listening, we like to throw out movies that maybe you haven't seen. And we've heard some reactions from you guys on like Facebook and Twitter and stuff saying, oh, that was cool. You mentioned that movie. I never saw it. I went out and checked it out, and you guys are totally wrong. So I try to come up with things that are off the beaten track.
Boy, do you.
Yeah. Well, here's one. Squirm. You ever hear of Squirm?
That's what I do whenever I'm asked a question on the show. I kind of start squirming a little.
1976. Makeup was by Rick Baker.
Cool.
So right there, awesome. And it was about killer earthworms. Not giant ones, just regular old little earthworms.
I shan't be watching that one either.
It was great. It was freaking creepy as hell. They shot it in Georgia, so it was like backwoods kind of, swampy setting.
Yeah.
And there's some power lines that fall in a storm, and it sends electricity in the ground, pisses off the worms, and so...
Okay.
And so, the worms do wormy things, like they get in the guy's egg cream at the local soda shop. I don't even know what the hell egg cream is. It's like a milkshake or something.
Gross. Just call it a milkshake.
Oh no, there's an earthworm in my thing, and then there's the scene with the girls taking the shower, and the water's not coming out of the shower head. Oh no, worms start coming out of and then they fill the bathtub, and people scream and they run and they fall, and eventually it ends up being like a freaking tidal wave of worms that I'm not kidding, that like fills this house, and they have to run upstairs. You know how like Night of the Living Dead, you're running from the zombies. Oh no, they're getting in. This is like a bunch of worms getting in, but they you're making faces and you're laughing.
I'm laughing.
But
it's funny.
It's scary because they tunnel under your skin.
Oh God, Mike!
And you can see them. And this is where Rick Baker comes in.
Yeah.
There's one scene where two guys on a boat fishing.
Yeah.
And they get into a little scuffle or whatever. The guy falls down and the bait can tipped over, and the worms get under his skin, and he stands up, and you can see them burrowing under his flesh in his face, like upward to his brain. Oh my God. It's good stuff.
Okay.
Worm.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, here's one that probably no one's heard of. And I know it's going to sound like I screwed up here, but the name of the movie? That's the name of it. S.
You just opened up a can of pop, don't I?
Yeah. 1973.
You're right, never heard of it.
Yeah. Remember Battlestar Galactica?
Yes.
The original.
Yes.
Dirk Benedict, he was in it. And it's about a crazy mad scientist who's injecting a guy with some weird serum and it's turning him into a snake, like into a cobra kind of guy. So he gets scaly and gross and, But it's a snake. He turns into a snake. So I'm kind of breaking the rule because that's not technically not about an animal.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Hey, I just thought of another one. There was another one called Stanley. That was about rattlesnakes. A guy, a crazy, I think he was like a Vietnam vet or something, and he had a thing about rattlesnakes, and he would use rattlesnakes to get his revenge on people. Like, oh, the bad guy, he doesn't like him, and he put a rattlesnake in his car. And it would bite him.
Okay.
I like how he simplified that movie.
Yeah.
He put a rattlesnake in there and they bite him.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. Now, here's a really good one.
Okay.
This one's cool. 1972. Don't laugh. Frogs. You ever see Frogs?
That's when I said I would agree with you on. I thought it was pretty cool. But I think it's the underlying message.
Frogs
really
was awesome. Stupid movie, but great message.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Sam Elliott.
I knew it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Elliott in like one of his earliest roles.
So, I first saw him in Masque and then Roadhouse. I'd never seen him in anything before that, so that was really cool.
Yeah, pre-mustache, Sam Elliott.
Yeah,
there's no such thing as... I'm
Sam
sorry.
Elliott.
I don't know this man.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
This movie takes place on an island, and there's a rich guy who is cantankerous, and he's just a total asshole. Guess who he's played by? Ray Milland. Who better to play a cantankerous old asshole? So he's a rich dude. He's got a mansion on the island, and he is spraying pesticides because, he doesn't give a shit about nature and all that, and he's killing everything with these pesticides. Well, the nature thing around the island, the ecosystem, the animals, they're pissed. Yeah. They're like, fuck this. Ray Milland is going down. It's called ecological horror. There was a whole trend of these eco-horror movies back in the early 70s because people were realizing that pollution was getting out of control. So, hey, I know, let's make a movie about nature striking back, and that's what this was. So you've got frogs who get pissed. You've got spiders who get pissed. You've got lizards and snakes. There's a butterfly that lures a woman to her death.
Oh, boy.
It's good. It's good stuff. But best of all,
Sam Elliott?
Yeah. Sam Elliott. Wearing his, rocking the bell bottoms and everything.
The fashion was awesome.
Yeah, he takes his shirt off a couple times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what? Yeah. What? I forgot about that.
You know who else was in it? Was Joan Van Ark.
Yes.
And she was really young there, wearing this ridiculously tight I don't know. It was like a onesie.
She looked good.
Terry cloth something or other.
I wear those when I go to bed.
The fashion was just incredible. You know who else was in that? Adam Rourke, who was Deke in Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. He was in that. Judy Pace was another actress that was in that. She was in all kinds of stuff. Sanford and Son and Good Times and What's Happening. Her wardrobe. Do you remember her wardrobe?
Fantastic.
With that, like, at the time they called it the Back to Africa style trend or whatever. So a lot of dashikis and stuff like that. Oh my God, she looked incredible.
Yeah, she did.
But nature, they do bad stuff, and then the people die.
Yeah.
Stuff, and then it's a big fight for survival, and it was cool.
Did the frogs eat people?
No, actually the frogs didn't do anything.
But it was called frogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just kind of croaked and sat at the window and pawed at the
Just
glass.
kind of freaked you out, their little sucker fingers
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Yeah, but Ray Milland, he was a dick, though. Like, he had the trophy room, because, of course, he was a big game hunter.
like
Yeah.
all dicks do.
So, there was some subtle there was some stuff, none too subtle stuff going on. Okay, let's move on.
Yes.
Next one, Food of the Gods.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it?
Heard of it, have not seen it.
Based on a novel by H.G. Wells. He wrote a couple things. I don't know.
I don't know.
Some hack sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This was 1976. It was made by Bert I. Gordon, who did cool stuff in the 50s. Earth versus the Spider. Beginning of the End, about the giant grasshoppers that attacked Chicago.
Oh God.
Yeah. So Food of the Gods was again. I think it was an island. Seems like all of my movies take place on islands.
Are you hinting to something?
I don't know what that is.
Are we doing an investigation on an island somewhere?
I like islands.
Oh,
I wish. But yeah, there's this goo that bubbles out of the ground, kind of like the stuff, and animals are eating it, and they're growing large, and so there's like giant caterpillars. Ida Lupino is in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she gets attacked
she's great.
by giant caterpillars.
Oh.
It's kind of sick. Mostly it was rats. It was giant rats.
Okay.
They were the big villain in that movie. But what was really cool for me, because I'm a nerd, the star of the movie was a guy named Marjoe Gortner. He made several movies in the 70s. It's like, hey, there's that dude again. He had a great white boy fro, like blonde hair, great head of hair. Turns out he was a child evangelist. He was the world's youngest evangelical preacher at 4 years old.
Wow.
So he was, I don't want to say brainwashed, but he was brainwashed by his parents to be a little preacher. 4 years old. He's out there, touring the Midwest. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Just as sure as you're listening to me, just as sure as you're listening to an 8-year-old voice, just as sure as you're playing a record, it's just as sure that you're going to go to hell if you're not saved. I stand firm in my belief that the Bible is the Word of God.
Yeah. So that's where he came from. And then when he got into his teens, he was like, "Oh, screw this bullshit. I got to get out of this."
So he went into acting?
Yeah, he did a huge expose on that whole
evangelistic type of preaching kind of thing. Yeah, wow.
Scam. That's the word I was looking for, scam. Yeah, there was a movie about him back in the late 60s. But anyhow, Marjoe Gortner was cool. Pamela Franklin was in that. She was in Legend of Hell House. All of my movies, I always look for the connections, even though they don't mean anything.
It's all connected, though.
Yeah. And Ida Lupino was in Devil's Reign.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great movie.
Yeah. So that was a cool movie. I like that one. Food of the Gods. But number one. Here's my number one.
Well, here we go, guys. Drum roll.
We usually don't do number ones. That's one of our New Year's resolutions, I guess, was we're gonna get rid of the top 3, top 5, because it's too hard to put them in order.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to say this is number one.
Okay.
Willard.
And I forgot about that.
And I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the original 1971. I was 8 years old when I saw that in the theater. That was the first horror movie that I saw in the theater. Scared the hell out of me. If you guys don't know what Willard is, Bruce Davison, he works, I think he's like an accountant or something like that, works for a guy who's a total asshole. Guess who plays the asshole? Ray Milland? No. Even better. Ernest Borgnine.
Oh, Devil's Reign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Who actually I heard is like a really sweet guy, but he plays a great jerk.
He does. Well, he just has that look about him. He has this really evil look.
And he needs to trim his eyebrows too, because those eyebrows are really
devilish.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But Bruce Davison, he lives with his mom, and his mom's elderly, and he's just kind of like a mama's boy, and everything she says goes, and he's just unhappy. And they have a birthday party for him, and he doesn't want to be around all the old people that his mom invited. So he's like, oh, screw this, I'm taking my cake and going outside. And he's sitting out in the backyard, and he sees a little rat. So he gives it a piece of cake. And the rat's like, hey, thanks. And, well, the rat didn't talk, but he makes friends with the rat. The rat starts bringing his buddies. Hey, there's free cake over here. And Willard, he can't relate to human beings. He's like one of those people that just is not a socializer. So he forms a relationship with these rats, and he starts training them and keeping them in secret in his basement. Mom doesn't know about it. She wants him to kill them all when she finds out, which he almost does. He almost poisons all of them. But Socrates and Ben, the two really smart ones, they're like, we know what the skull and crossbones on that container is. You're trying to kill us. Don't you dare. He changes his mind. But the few rats turns into an army of rats. And some bad things happen at work. I'm not going to say exactly what. But he uses his rats to get revenge on people. And it's got an ending that made me sick to my stomach when I went to that movie theater to see that at 8 years old. I couldn't believe what I saw. Incredible movie. Incredible.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Now, are all these available on DVD or digital?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, so everybody can either purchase them or rent them.
Oh, sure.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, now I saw Ben.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And then I saw the Willard remake with Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover.
And you said basically they're pretty different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to see that. The original.
The original is friggin' awesome. Ben was okay, but they realized, hey, little kids loving this thing, this Willard thing. Let's make another one for kids. So the star was a little boy, and he had Ben, who was like a survivor of the first movie. And he trained him, and he had puppet shows. And
totally different.
He would sing little songs, and you know what's most memorable about Ben?
What's that?
Ben, the two of us need look no more. We both found what we were looking for.
Of course, Michael Jackson. That song. A lot of people hear that song and they're like, it's wonderful. Like, you know where it came from? It was a movie about rats. Yeah. So there you go. There's my list.
The warm one had me...
Squirm.
I'm still
Squirm is incredible.
Still a little,
Yeah. One of the few movies that features an egg cream.
It just sounds gross.
Question everything.
Okay, we have a question from Gary Fisher from Sydney, Australia. Hey guys, here's a question. What was your favorite Christmas gift you were given as a child?
Oh,
wow.
Boy.
I got a lot.
Yeah, I had a lot too. I did narrow it down to one.
Okay. I did too. It was difficult.
Did you? Well, you go ahead then, Vinny.
I was 8 or 9 years old, and the Muppet Show was really big. And my cousin had a Kermit the Frog, which had Velcro on the hands, so he could hold you. And he wasn't a Muppet. He wasn't a puppet. He was just a doll. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted one of those.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. I'm sure they have them now, but for years you couldn't find them. Mm-hmm. And I got one, loved it, and wow, it was just ridiculous. That was my favorite at 8 years old.
So simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Yeah.
The kids I babysat had them, so that's how I knew about
Oh.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about you?
I narrowed it down to one. I mean, I love toys and stuff, but I narrowed it down to fashion plates.
We've talked about this. You've told me
yeah.
all about fashion
Yeah.
plates.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. You had a bunch of indented plates that had drawings of all different styles of clothing, tops, pants, dresses, skirts, and you chose any combination that you wanted, and you assembled them into a base. You put all the pieces in this base, and then you put paper over it, and then you lightly went over it with a black crayon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could choose from a variety of textures and patterns and add color. Get out your crayons or your colored pencils or whatever and become a clothing designer.
I don't even know, what do you call that? Like people do that with, you put a piece of paper over a penny and then you go over it with a pencil and then you can see Abraham Lincoln.
I forget what the term is, but it's, I don't know.
But that's basically what
Cops
that was.
do it, detectives do it, to see like signatures and stuff. Like, who signed this?
I want to say etching, but I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They do it on,
I'll look
on
into
the
that.
wall
Yeah.
in Vietnam. Wall
Yeah,
memorial,
right.
They do that too,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
was cool.
one I have not thought about in years. My sister had that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Spirograph was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like that. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, my favorite thing. I think I was probably around maybe 6 years old. Creepy crawlers were big at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the burns to prove it. Those damn metal plates. But there was another thing. It was called Eeks. The creepy crawler molds. You poured in the plastic goop into the mold. You put it in a little oven. It cooked the plastic, and then you popped out a full spider.
Okay.
Eeks were different body segments, I guess. So it's like the head and the thorax and the abdomen and then legs and wings and horns and whatever. And you molded all the pieces separately, and then you could assemble them all into like a larger rubber creature.
Okay.
That was really cool. I like that one a lot. I like that a lot. But my favorite of all time was another one called Motorized Monster Maker. And it was basically the same thing as Creepy Crawlers and Eeks. This thing was made by somebody else. You had a motorized armature, like a motorized person.
And you wind it.
Right? You wind it up and then it walks. Except it didn't have any skin on it. It was just a metal skeleton. And you molded the body pieces out of the goop. And then you put them over the armature. There was hair. They give you that, like fake hair stuff, that you could put on and like other things. It was an endeavor to put one of these damn things together. And the pieces never really fit right because you cook them and they shrink up on one side and not on the other because, But I tried my darndest. And the only disappointing thing about it, on the box, Motorized Monster Maker, they show like werewolf and mummy and this and that, like this whole line of motorized monsters coming at you. There's only one damn mold in the box for like the worst character was like a caveman or something like that, or an ogre or whatever. Like other monsters sold separately. Damn you! So all I could make was just that one guy, but it was fun. It was cool. And it kept me busy, and I'm sure that made my parents happy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's going to disappear with that for like 3 days. Keep me out of their hair.
Mike, you sounded like you were a nice boy.
I was a nice boy.
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah, but I was into everything.
All right. Well, I think that takes care of it.
That's
everybody.
a wrap.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Yep.
Just letting you know, Haunt Squad has some really special things planned for this year coming up.
We do.
We hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
We
have to sit down and figure out what those are going to be.
That's a secret. I'm just trying to throw it out there.
We have some things planned.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. So can't wait for that.
Yeah. So it was a fun holiday season.
Yeah.
We all got through it.
We sure did.
You know what made it? You know what got us through it?
What?
The Kaiju Christmas Marathon
Yeah.
El Rey Network.
We wrecked the hall. We did.
Like 4 straight days of Godzilla. It was
It
incredible.
was Thursday through Sunday,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Oh my God, they showed great stuff. 2 years ago, they showed a lot of the older ones. This year, they did a lot from the Heisei period and the Millennium series. Like, so you had Godzilla from the 50s all the way up to the 2000s. Oh, man. Everything was on there. Everything.
Yeah.
Tokyo SOS. Oh,
That was great.
Oh, my God. You know what my favorite one was?
What?
Vinny's going, I thought we were ending the show.
Yeah, right?
Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, giant monster all-out attack. That was my favorite one because Godzilla was straight up bad guy. He had those white eyes. He didn't have pupils. He looked like a freaking demon. Ghidorah was a good guy. Ghidorah, Mothra, and Baragon all teamed up. Great movie, though. It was really cool.
I like it when Godzilla's a good guy. I don't like it when he's a bad guy.
But see, I don't think he's really bad. I see Godzilla as a god. He's an old god. He's an ancient one. That's just how I see him. I don't see him as good or bad. He just has different moral code than we do. Never mind. Okay, this is going off somewhere.
I know. That's a whole episode. Because we're just.
I don't like when people attack him and stuff. And
Humans
I'm just
are
kind of like, just let him be. Let him do what he does.
Humans are irrelevant in his world.
Exactly.
We're not even
ants.
worth noticing.
No.
He's got shit to do.
Stay spooky.
Shut up!